Hello there everyone, and welcome to this week's challenge. Today we'll find out if we can beat Pokemon Platinum with only one Shellder, as per requested from a friend. Our defense is great, but everything else is rather low. I wish we had more of both special stats, if I'm honest. Shellder's level up moves are acceptable for sure. We do learn Ice Beam at least, but mainly we'll be using our TM moves, like Surf and, hopefully not, but possibly Swagger and Double Team. They're very important. If we get stonewalled, I hope that doesn't happen, but we're very slow. I'm worried about the grass gym as well as the last gym, because it's electric type. So with that said, let's get into the challenge. I'm not allowed to use items in battle, held items are okay, no Pokemon besides Shellder in battle except for HMs. Leave a comment down below if you think that we can pull it off, and let's get into it. So to start off, we name ourselves Rena and our rival Elron. We then go and get our starter. I replaced Piplup with Shellder, so our rival would have Turtwig, which would be the most brutal to face for the run. We then had to beat our rival in a battle, which was not too bad since he used Withdrawal a lot. It took one try to win this time, unlike Badoo last week, thankfully. It really was annoying though, he was so tanky. I'm not looking forward to a couple of our fights before we learn Ice Beam. Here are our stats. We got a serious nature this time, so no decreased or increased stats, which is okay. Wish I had Timid, but I'll take what I can get. We also have Skill Link, which will make the early game easier since we can spam Icicle Spear after level 13 until we get a better ice move later. After we get the Pokedex and named our Shellder Shell-Shocked, we head through the next two towns and find our rival blocking our way again. He has two Pokemon now, but we managed to get through without too much trouble. Didn't even need to grind to higher levels, just used Supersonic, set up 6 withdrawals, and then tackled until his Starly went down. His Turtwig doesn't really know anything right now to take us on, so it wasn't a problem. Even though we had the level disadvantage really, we took him on and just brute forced our way through with Tackle. Even after he growled a tongue to decrease our attack stat and set up tons of withdrawals to increase his defenses, we still outlasted him until he fainted. Alright, on to Orberg. So up next we have the Orberg Gym Battle. This one's super easy this time too. We set up withdrawals while spamming Supersonic on Geodude. It hit itself in confusion enough times that we got 6 withdrawals set up and we didn't have to worry about any hits from Onix or Cranidos after that. Then we just spammed Icicle Spear until we took out Geodude. Because Icicle Spear has Skill Link behind it, it always hits 5 times, so it has a really high amount of power behind it right now. With Onix it's the same, we just spam out Icicle Spears. However, unfortunately he healed up Onix, so it took a couple extra Icicle Spears and he did get a good amount of chip damage off on us. So if Cranidos had flinched us, we would have actually gone down here. However, luckily Cranidos didn't flinch us. We managed to land a Supersonic, it hit itself in confusion, and then we were able to Icicle Spear it down without really losing on the first attempt. Thankfully we don't have to grind for him. Now that we're past Orberg, we can take on Team Galactic in the Valley Windworks. Turns out Saturn's Zubat knows Toxic and Perugly has Fake Out. We can't win at the level I got here at, so I had to grind for the first time. Luckily I only had to grind to level 20, so we were able to get past this roadblock without too much grinding. When Commander Mars sends out Zubat, we're going to take it out immediately with Icicle Spear, but I misclicked and used Supersonic. Luckily, Zubat hit itself in confusion and we could finish it off the next turn. The Perugly was as tanky as you would think it would be, but we spammed confusion, it hit itself many times, and we were able to win with only 6 hit points left. Oh, I'm not looking forward to the Grass-type gym. Once we reach Eterna City, we try to take out the gym, hoping Icicle Spear will be enough to get us through this gym without any problem. But, as you would expect, not being Ice-type causes us to not deal enough damage. We can get past Turtwig, but not Cherim. If we can't even get to the Rose Raid, we definitely have to grind a lot more. We had to grind all the way up to level 40 to be able to take on Rose Raid and Cherim. Turtwig is easy at this point, falls in 1 Icicle Spear. Same for Cherim, since we outspeed it now. Rose Raid still outspeeds us, and Stun Spores us. We were fully paralyzed, of course, Then Magical Leaf took out over half of our HP, but we narrowly took it out with Icicle Spear. Thank God we have Skill Link, I would hate this fight otherwise. With the second badge done and out of the way, we went and took on Commander Jupiter. They were super easy since we're so overleveled now. Just spammed Icicle Spear until we won. I'm happy to see an easy battle after that gym. On the note of easy battles, the third gym isn't one. If we get Will-O-Wisp, we cannot win. We need to land Supersonic on Miss Magius, and then Miss Magius can only get one hit in on us, or we cannot win. If we take too much damage before Haunter, Haunter will just come in and finish us off with the greatest of ease. We might need to grind more, but I'm gonna try a few more times and see if I can just manage to squeak through a victory and be done with this small roadblock. After several more attempts, I got this run. Death Skull uses Future Sight instead of burning us, and drops in 2 Icicle Spears. Miss Magius only gets to hit us once thanks to some crits and good confusion luck. If it wasn't for the confusion, we honestly wouldn't be able to beat Miss Magius at this level. The crits just helped speed it along. Haunter used Sucker Punch, and didn't deal much, and luckily falls in a couple of Icicle Spear hits. Thank God this is over. Thankfully, our rival is much easier to take on than the gym was. His Pokemon just drop in 1 or 2 hits each. Between Icicle Spear, Clamp, and Aurora Beam, I'm so happy to have another easy fight after the Ghost Gym. This is way harder of a run than I thought it would be. My low speed is really holding me back, and I can really feel it now. Maylene isn't too easy either, however. We need Meditite to not hit us too much. Then we need good confusion luck on Lucario and Machoke. This took around 20 tries to win, and it wasn't the worst. It always felt like I could get it next time, so I just pushed through. Hopefully Wake is easier than this was. Thankfully, our rival before Wake is rather easy. Turns out that Grottle doesn't like to attack us very much. Staravia is the most dangerous since it has Endeavor. Everything else drops rather easily between Aurora Beam and Clamp. So yeah, this is rather easy. Didn't really have a problem beating him. I tried to take on Wake without Supersonic, but I just couldn't deal enough damage. I had to rely on Supersonic for both Floatzel and Gyarados. Luckily I got good confusion luck on the first time when I used Supersonic. Gyarados hit itself with confusion quite a bit and took itself out. Floatzel managed to hit itself enough for me to manage to finish it off. Aurora Beam and Clamp are not great coverage for water types, and I am really regretting not having anything else. Quagsire falls in 2 brines. Luckily we learned a better move than Clamp to take on Wake. You know, I just realized, this old lady should still have Pokemon, shouldn't she? What about all the other people in this city? They just let some random child go and deal with some psycho who has a bomb and is going to blow up the village? I mean, seriously. I like that I'm the one dealing with the villain, but like, why are none of the adults doing anything about this madman with a bomb in their village? With that tangent out of the way, let's deal with Cyrus, shall we? He took a couple of tries, but he wasn't too bad. Golbat was a damage roll to win, but it only took about 4 tries to pull a win out of the hat. I'm gonna have to grind a lot soon. I'll need to be much tankier later on. Taking on a rival actually took a lot of tries. I was worried I would have to grind. Staraptor and Torterra fall with Ice Beam, so they are no problem. But his Floatzel was too tanky, and we couldn't take it out. But it turns out our hidden power is electric type, so we were actually able to use hidden power to take out Floatzel. And then after that, Rapidash can fall to Surf. But Heracross can survive Surf. Luckily it didn't hit us with anything super strong, and we managed to hang on and take it out with Surf. Byron is a bit of a pain. We need his Magneton to hit itself in confusion in order to KO it with Surf. His Steelix feints the Surf, obviously, but Bastiodon can survive Surf and hit us with Metal Burst to one-hit KO us, so we need to weaken it first with Ice Beams so it gets KO'd by Surf. That Magneton at the beginning fills me with dread for the last gym. It can one-shot us at full health. With that badge in the bag, I'm heading off to the lake to take on Commander and Saturn again. This was almost a loss due to me not paying full attention. Still managed to pull it off, but I took a ton of damage while I wasn't paying any attention to my game whatsoever and was just mashing the A button. If I paid a little bit less attention, I would have had a long walk of shame back to this lake, but luckily he still fell rather easily and we can move on. With Jupiter done, we went over to deal with Mars. Mars was rather annoying. It took quite a few tries to get this fight due to Golbat having Confusion and Poison. Luckily he didn't Toxic us this time and Bronzor came out, but Bronzor can't really do much against us because we're already confused, so we just surf it a couple times and it goes down. But Purugly crit us down quite a few times. Luckily this time we managed to just surf it down twice, its crit wasn't enough, and we win. We're gonna have to grind soon, and I don't want to. We reached Candace all the way up to the 7th gym, and we are not a high enough level to beat this. We cannot beat Abomasnow at this level. We can beat Sneasel, but not Abomasnow. He just wipes us off the face of the earth with Woodhammer. Time to grind a lot. I grinded a bunch, went all the way up to level 65, and even at level 65, I still cannot win this fight. Sneasel drops super easy now, but Abomasnow, if it doesn't hit itself in confusion pretty much every turn, will take us out. But Frostlass, even on its own, takes us out with super ease. We need to grind some more in order to be able to one-shot everything consecutively, with no worries. At last, now that we're level 75, we can finally beat Candace. We got lucky and critted Abomasnow, then took out Frostlass with 2 Surfs. Oh, dealing with those two was brutal. Her last Pokemon doesn't matter at all, it's just Piloswine, so it just drops in a single Surf, and this battle is done, badge is done, we can rock climb now. We went over to Cyrus in Hearthholm City, and this was super easy this time since we're so over-leveled now. Just full one-shots all around. Sneasel dropped because it didn't even attack us. Crobat hit us with Air Cutter, but dropped to a single Ice Beam, and Honchkrow just dies in a single Ice Beam. Onwards, I guess. Commander Saturn was just the same as his boss. I didn't even heal first, just one-shot his whole team. It's stupid how much I had to overlevel for the 7th gym. 8th gym will probably be worse, I'm sure, but now Team Galactic is kind of a joke because I'm so highly overleveled. It's kind of ridiculous. After climbing Mount Coronet, we took on the 2 commanders with our rival again. This was actually much easier than the other times, and I am thankful for that. We just spam surf until we won. Took out our ally a bunch, but it doesn't really matter. We just surf, knock out 2 of their Pokemon, surf, knock out 2 of their Pokemon, and just moved on. Our poor rival just got beaten to a tar by us for this whole fight, but it doesn't matter much. I guess it's time to head into the Distortion World and see what's up down there. Hopefully it's a little bit more challenging. Hopefully it's not, so that would mean I would have to grind more. Taking on Cyrus was, as always, a pain. If his Houndoom burns us or attacks us, we lose. We finally got lucky after a good dozen attempts, where Houndoom burns us and Lumberry removes the burn, letting us one-shot it. Honchkrow faints in a single Ice Beam. Crobat confused us with Confuse Ray, but falls to Ice Beam since we don't hit ourselves. Gyarados is a damage roll with hidden power, and we managed to win the damage roll this time and one-shot it. We didn't hit ourselves in confusion for a change, and Weavile fakes us out, which is why Burn and Toxic are so dangerous. Since we aren't burned, poisoned, and the confusion wore off, we just surf until he faints. You know, I love how much build-up Giratina has. He's supposedly so powerful, and all this jazz, but in these single Pokemon runs where you don't even bother catching him, I feel kinda bad for him. Even in the base game when you have the Master Ball anyway, he's no threat, because you just Master Ball him immediately. Really cool Pokemon, Really cool concept. Really sad that he gets so overpowered by the trainer. But yeah, the Giratina fight goes exactly how you'd expect it to. 2 ice beams and he's down. You know, for being such a powerful Pokemon both in lore and in game, he's very underwhelming. It's sad to think, but with Sun and Moon's boss mechanics, he would have been truly tough to face. +1 everything Giratina origin form would have been just like Ultra Necrozma kind of levels of boss fight. That would have been so cool to face. So, I knew the Electric Gym would be hard from the very beginning, so it's finally time to see how hard it is. Hope I don't have to grind a lot more. Here we go, into the hardest gym of this run. He starts off with Jolteon. The Thunder Wave is stopped thanks to our Lumberry, and we crit it down in 1 hit. Next is Raichu, who lands a Charge Beam, gets a special attack boost, our Surf almost takes it out, he Hyper Potions back up, we Surf him back down. Then he misses a Charge Beam, we take him out with Surf. Luxray comes out, lands a crit Thunder Fang, almost taking us out. We Surf him down, he Hyper Potions back up, we Surf until he faints. Last out is Electivire, who outspeeds us and takes us out with Thunder Punch. I think we only need a couple levels. Even back at level 83, we still need a little luck. Basically, we need Jolteon to use Thunder Wave so our berry gives us a free turn to one-shot it back. It survived, got healed to full, then we one-shot on the next Surf. Raichu Charge Beamed us, then fainted in 1 hit. Luxray was outsped by us and one-shot with Surf. This time we have more HP and can survive Electivire's Thunder Punch and one-shot it with Surf. Thank God that's over. After going through Victory Road with only a single Blissey being annoying, we reached the Pokemon League and took on our rival one last time. This time he spammed U-turn, which got Torterra knocked out instead, and wiped out most of Heracross's and Snorlax's HP. Eventually I just spammed Surf until he was down to only Floatzel. At which point, I could just use Hidden Power to knock it out. I guess it's time for the Elite Four. The rival turned out a lot easier than I expected him to be. But I'll gladly take an easy battle before the Elite Four, that's for sure. A note of an easy battle. First up, Elite Four Aaron, with his Bug-type team. Yanmega actually drops in a single Ice Beam, but hits us super hard with Bug Buzz first. Vespiquen got frozen and barely survived. So, if it had been able to hit us too, we would have taken even more damage before we could get into the meat of his team. Because Heracross outspeeds us and hits us with a close combat, almost taking us down. Drops in 1 Surf, but Scizor does not, and manages to finish us off with X-Scizor. Time to grind. Back at level 90, we can now take on Aaron. His bugs are a lot harder than I thought they would be. We got very unlucky here with him spamming Double Team and us missing him several times. After he builds up Double Teams, he just U-turns out and loses it all. I don't get it, but Vespiquen takes the Ice Beam and faints. Yanmega doesn't dodge this time and just faints to Ice Beam. Heracross still outspeeds and hits hard with close combat, but we held on and knocked him out with Surf. Scizor is an easy one-shot with Surf, and all that's left is Drapion, which faints in 1 hit, not really standing a chance of survival. I was so unafraid of Bertha that I forgot to even heal up my Pokemon. So, I had to fight her with like half HP. Wishcash sent up a Sandstorm, so unfortunately I'm gonna have that chipping away at my HP. It fell to Ice Beam, as did Gliscor, who hit me with Earthquake because it outsped me. Then Golem fell to Surf, and this whole time Sandstorm's just chipping away at me. Rhyperior drops to Surf. Luckily Sandstorm ends. I outspeed Hippowdon and knock it out before it can take me down. Bertha was not hard, but I was dumb. We reach Flint, which is water versus fire, so yeah, this one should be easy. We took out Houndoom while it Dark Pulsed us, and it's a shame it outspeeds and hits so hard. Infernape has Thunder Punch, and we surf it down while surviving and healing with our Citrus Berry. Rapidash has Solar Beam but no Sunny Day this time, so it sets up Sunny Day while we surf, and then Magmortar Thunderbolts us, takes us out. Might have to go level 100. Back at level 95, we can finally stand up to Magmortar. Now we outspeed Houndoom and one-shot it. Infernape still outspeeds us and uses Thunder Punch. If it paras, we lose, but not this time. Rapidash is up and uses Solar Beam, so it's a free knockout. If it had paralyzed us with Bounce, we would have lost. Magmortar is up, and Jesus, that hits hard. We took him down with Surf and healed with Citrus. Didn't need the Citrus though, because we outsped and one-shot Flareon. Thank God we're almost done with this run. No more surprises left, please. We reached Lucian, and he bodies us hard. Mr. Mime is still a complete joke, but Alakazam has Energy Ball, and Gallade has Leaf Edge. I have no choice. I finally have to grind all the way to level 100. I was hoping to beat this at a lower level, but I guess not. Even at level 100, Lucian still brutalizes us really hard. We took out Mr. Mime while it set up Reflect using Surf. We lost most of our HP to Alakazam's Energy Ball and took it out in one hit. Gallade didn't use Leaf Blade for some reason, and we took it out in 2 crits. Espeon used Psychic, and we survive on 1 HP. We didn't even knock out Espeon with Surf. Luckily he healed up and we crit and one-shot it. Last up is Bronzong, who we used Surf and KO in 1 hit. That luck was nuts. Cynthia was a nightmare. Jesus, where do I start? Most of her team can one-shot me or close to it. I had no choice but to use Double Team, and even with Double Team, I needed Swagger to buy me more turns and setup time so I could take out some members of her team. I set up on Spiritomb right out the gate. This is brutal because if it gets a special defense drop on me, I am just screwed, and evasion isn't a reliable stat buff. After that, I need Roserade to miss the Energy Ball, because Ice Beam is 1-hit KO, but Ice Beam does not 1-hit KO Togekiss, who has Aura Sphere and Shockwave which don't miss, so I need it to hit something Confusion, and Ice Beam it to knock it out. Lucario also has Aura Sphere and can survive Surf, so I need it to hit itself in Confusion, and then I need Surf to take out the rest of its HP. Now it has Milotic, which has Mirror Coat and resists all of my moves, so I maxed out Swagger's attack buff on it, and then just used Surf, and tried to chip away at the Milotic's HP. It really took a beating, and the problem is that even after I finally managed to beat it down, it still managed to hit me with Dragon Pulse, and then Cynthia full restored it back up to full HP. So I Swaggered it again, to get it to hit itself some more, and then Surfed to chip away at it, and then finally took it out with Ice Beam, leaving only Garchomp. If it misses, I win, and it missed. Thank God. Cynthia's done. That was horrible. By the gods, this was a brutal one. Cynthia wound up taking so many tries to beat that I was starting to lose hope I could win. I am so happy that I managed to pull out this victory, but I loathe that it caused so much suffering at the very end. I also hate that I had to pull out Double Team strats, but there's no Salac Berry in the game to boost my speed, so my only other option was hoping for Quick Claw. But even then, I wouldn't be able to KO Togekiss nor Lucario by the end there. By God, that was brutal. Nonetheless, I hope that you enjoyed seeing the results of my suffering. By all means, drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. It helps more than you know. Also, you can find me over on Twitch, down below in the description, as well as my Twitter, where I post updates on videos, streams, and such. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep playing the way you want to play. See you around, everyone.